All right. Well, good afternoon, Anne-Marie in Kinshasa, DRC. So great to talk to you this morning. Where are you actually physically right now?
Hi Matt, first of all. It's great to be with you. I am sitting at my kitchen table, my dining room table in my house in Kinshasa, um, working from home because our office is currently closed.
And what's going on in Kinshasa right now? Is there a mix of fear and trepidation, busyness on the streets? What's going on?
So I was out the other day to go to the grocery store, and it was almost as if life was normal. Most of the population in this city, as well as throughout DRC, rely on day labor. So it means that every morning they need to go out to be able to eat that night. So they might be going out to sell fruit or drive a taxi or do construction, but they need to do something every day or they won't eat that night. So really lots and lots of people on the streets.
Thanks, Emery. You've spent much of your working life in this beautiful country, the Democratic Republic of Congo. We've met there many times. Um, what is your sense right now in this time of COVID? What are your concerns? Where are you spending a lot of time praying about the way COVID is going to affect life in this country that you've dedicated so much of your life to?
So I'm worried. I certainly my team is worried. There's a lot of things that worry us, but the most worrying is the impact of this crisis on children. We know that there's a lot of fear around an illness like this. And what that sometimes means is people are scared to even take their kids to a health center if they have another illness. So for example, a child might have malaria, but a mother is worried that if she brings her child to the clinic, the child might contract something like COVID-19. So they're not coming for care. Or, as I said, the economic repercussions. We know, unemployment, inflation are going to impact a place like DRC, like it's impacting every other country. So that's gonna impact what a parent can buy. Prices are rising, so that means that the quality of a child's diet is going to be less than it even normally would, which is already not very good. So really, really worried about the impact of the crisis on the health and well-being of children.
Thanks, Emery. What have been some of the most significant or notable impacts of COVID-19 on World Vision in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which you lead, and even the surrounding community where you are in Kinshasa?
So as I mentioned, our office is closed. That doesn't mean we're not working. We're working really hard, but we're having to adapt. A lot of our staff, just from a work perspective, a lot of people in Canada are working from home. We want our staff to be able to do the same, but some of them don't have regular electricity at home. So, they can't keep their laptops charged. So really basic challenges that our teams are facing, we're having to overcome. We have staff rotating in and out of the office where possible so they can charge their laptops to then work from home. So really having to think a bit differently. We're worried about, as I said earlier, around the price of food. This has an impact on our teams. It has an impact on their families, what they can buy, the kind of, can they buy healthy food for their family? And that also is a big concern for the wider community as well.
Thanks. The church in the Congo, the Congolese church, is so present in society, so notable. The Catholic Church is seen as a huge advocate and a voice for children. The Pentecostal church is so vibrant and alive across the country. Protestant mainline churches are doing incredible things as well across the full spectrum of children's activities. What are churches in Congo doing to respond to the crisis?
We are incredibly blessed as World Vision to have wonderful partnerships with a variety of denominations. The church is essential to the fight against COVID-19. The health system within DRC cannot cope with a large COVID-19 outbreak. So we need to focus on prevention. And the church is absolutely essential to that. They are trusted within their communities. So a pastor, a priest, the information that they share is trusted over fake news. I'll use the term fake news because that's a term that even in French, even in local languages, people have really hooked onto. So people know that there are things that are true and there is fake news. And the church is essential to be able to provide good information. And we're working with them to get them that information so that they can share it with their congregations. Absolutely essential part of the work.
And do you also see churches doing other practical things visibly out in the community, helping children, engaging the needs of the population? Can you say a bit more about how that shows up?
Absolutely, in so many ways. The prevention, the information is a key part, but so is the practical support to people. So as I mentioned earlier, if someone gets sick, they can't self-isolate. They can't stay at home. They need to go out and work to be able to survive. So the church is an essential partner to be able to provide food, to provide access to things like basic things like soap. We want people to wash their hands, but if they don't have money to eat, they're not going to prioritize buying soap. So the church is an essential partner in making sure that people have that. The other thing, of course, is that in a place like DRC, churches run hospitals. So they are one of the primary sources of healthcare within the country, and we are blessed. And you had the chance to meet Dr. Isabel in Rutshuru, in the eastern part of the country, and she is the director of a Catholic-run church there. And she is working, there's 2 doctors on staff there, and she's working, 7 days a week, day in, day out, but is so committed to providing care to women, children, and her wider community. It's really phenomenal.
There are so many hidden heroes like Dr. Isabel at work across the country, and
Absolutely.
she's such an inspiring figure, and she's one person we can continue to pray for by name, and just such an inspirational figure. What other signs of hope have you seen in the crisis? Where have you seen God at work in people like Dr. Isabel?
The hope I have is in my team. There's 500 World Vision staff members here in the DRC. 475 of those are Congolese that every day are on the front lines. They continue to be out in their communities in very difficult conflict affected places. They are distributing food as we speak. They are drilling boreholes as we speak, and they are phenomenal, and they give me so much hope.
What is the biggest challenge you're facing right now as a team? You've shared some of them in terms of the just continuity of working in these very challenging conditions. What is the biggest need that we could be, as the global church, standing in solidarity with you to pray for?
There's a few things. We're struggling to buy protective equipment. there are not enough supplies, and a country like DRC gets these supplies last. So to be able to respond, to be able to send our staff out into communities, they need to be protected. So we need a holy intervention. We need a miracle for supplies to become available, to multiply. So I invite everyone to pray for that. I also, we need prayers for safety. Our teams are responding in very, very difficult places, with people are confused, they're anxious, they don't know what COVID-19 is. So there's a lot of fear. And that means, you know, in some cases they think that it's aid workers that are bringing this virus. So I'm worried about the safety of my teams, and so I really request, and I'm so thankful for prayers for safety and security of the team.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. You shared recently a message with the World Vision Canada staff virtually, like we're doing now, for our virtual chapel services amongst World Vision staff on the other side of the world. Can you say a little bit about some of the scripture that is upholding you through this difficult time, this season of change and upheaval, maybe a word of encouragement that has helped sustain you through this?
Yeah. I'm praying a lot around be still and know. So Psalm 46:10. Despite the anxiety and despite all the stress and the work we're doing, there's such an opportunity. For me personally, you know, normally I'm traveling 2 weeks per month. I'm on the road a lot. So there, I have this silver lining, this blessing to be, you know, actually physically still here in my home, and I'm trying to really look at the silver lining, to take time to really be quiet, be still. And pray about what is the opportunity for, you know, as we come into a new normal, as the world opens up again, how can we re-enter the world? How can I re-enter the world transformed and different? What busyness, what things can I leave behind to really focus on what God is telling me is most important? So it's such an opportunity and a blessing right now.
It's such a privilege to talk with you and to find ways to support you, and we will be praying for you and for your team. They are amazing. I've had the privilege of meeting many of them and working with them over the years. You're blessed with an incredibly dedicated, prayerful, committed, courageous, smart, agile team.
Absolutely.
And may the Lord bless your efforts to reach the most vulnerable children across this amazing country, the Democratic Republic of Congo. God bless you.
Thank you so much.